Welcome to NITOP 2021 Virtual. My name is Bob DuBois. I teach at the University of Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ciara and I teach at Marian University, Wisconsin.
And we're here to talk about using technology to help students get off to a great start in online courses. And specifically, we're going to talk about two tools that we use. One of the tools is called Hypothesis. The other one is called FlipGrid. But to get things started, let's just remind everyone about some of the reasons why we should emphasize the onboarding in our online courses. It's critical that we help students get off to a really grand welcome, positive, productive, graceful start, where they really feel hopeful that they can succeed, where you've laid out the path that they're going to take throughout the course to attain the outcomes that you think are critical, where they get an opportunity early to start to build community and to realize that you are going to be active and present in the course, to start by making sure that everyone accomplishes all of the important tasks for doing well, and to get them thinking right from the start. So would you mind telling us just a little bit about how you use Hypothesis and what you do with Hypothesis?
So Hypothesis is a free social annotation tool that works on the web. So you can use it on websites, open textbooks, or even within your LMS. I use it at the beginning of the course with the course syllabus, and this allows students to ask questions, clarify anything in the syllabus that might be unclear to them, provide extra resources. It starts to build community because students are responding to each other. It also builds rapport with me as I'm responding to them. And it also makes sure that they've read the syllabus and that they're familiar with the tech that we're going to be using in the class later on. Other similar tech that is out there that can be used for that, Perusal is becoming more popular. It's something I just barely glanced at for today's teaching slam, but it looks really interesting and it's also free. And using something really simple like Google Docs with comments is also a great way you can use social annotation in your class to get started. Can you tell me a little bit about FlipGrid?
Sure. So I started using FlipGrid probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It's a tool that was originally developed by professors at the University of Minnesota, and its purpose is really to kind of support more engaged discussions by enabling people to more easily communicate back and forth in an audio-visual format. So I use that to really try to build that community, to give students an opportunity to maybe cross just a little past their boundaries so that they can start to feel like they're ready to kind of engage with my course maybe a little more fully than they might typically. And I think they really want to be much more themselves in discussions. And so I think giving them an opportunity early to do that successfully, to feel comfortable, to get positive messages back from others is just critical.
So can you give some advice about when choosing technology, particularly something you're introducing to in the beginning of your class? What are some things that we should be thinking about when we're thinking about all the different tech options that are out there?
Well, I think that it's really important that you do some soul searching about just how many different tools our students are being asked to learn across the campus. And so make sure that you're using a tool because it really is consistent with something important to your pedagogy, to the way that you think about teaching. And so, I try to keep the technology down to just a couple of things and then make sure you teach folks how to use it right from the start and make sure that they can see why you're using it and that they can comment and give you feedback about whether or not it's working the way that you hope to.
Yeah, and I think I would just add like making sure you know your audience. FlipGrid is probably really great for your traditional college student who is using TikTok or using FaceTime regularly because they're familiar with being in front of the camera, talking to people in that way. And the interface is actually pretty comfortable and pretty similar to those kinds of things. Whereas a non-traditional student, a student coming back after being in the workforce, they're probably not used to that kind of communication. And so just being aware, like, is that something your students are going to be open to? And if not, maybe there's an alternative way to get that authentic discussion that you're trying to get.
Yeah, and I was really tickled recently when FlipGrid added the ability for text-based back and forth dialogue embedded within the video discussion board too. So I think that opens up the floor for more to participate. They also provided some really cool filters to kind of hide behind or protect your identity. So I think that it's really good. So I like it, and it's easily embeddable within LMSs. So
That's great.
I'm really wishing we were there in St. Pete.
Me too. We hope to see you guys later in the discussion hours.
Yes. Bye, everyone.